Welcome, everybody, to Dimebag Darren World Headquarters in the corner of my living room. And another, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just throwing the microphone open, turning on the equipment. Ghost Nancy T is streaming live right now as well. And I don't know, just a chance to meet the community, show off a couple of things that came in the mail, hear from y'all. We're going to throw the doors open too with an invite. We're going to paste right in the chat immediately. If I know you, you're going to get up. If I don't know you, so long. We'll find out about that shortly. Who it is that's free on a, what is it? That's what happens when you're a shift worker on a, you get your weekend. It's my weekend, but it's not your weekend. It's my weekend, and it's Monday for y'all, but it's Saturday morning for me. So a little bit of streaming for me on what's my own Saturday morning. Not too much to show just yet. And like I say, if you're not watching Ghost Nancy T right now, check her out. Ghost Nancy T is on streaming right now and just showing a few of the things that have been received by her sons. Her son, sons? No, daughter. Daughter and son and daughter. So many little kids involved these days that I sort of like feel like a grandpa almost. But there was some sent things to her for her children, I believe, and she's just going through that. But like I say, these days, there's no good time to start streaming. Susie Q is streaming now as well, and like she said, you can't just wait till everybody else isn't so you can stream. It doesn't work that way. So you just stream when you want to and when you can. And as I say, it's my weekend, so I thought I'd fire it up. Once again, we have an upgrade to Dimebag Darren World Headquarters in the form of a brand new computer running it all. We had a sort of kind of around the world. Well, we had an AMD FX 8320 for those of you who are computer literate, which is something of an older computer. And what we did is we went ahead and bought something of a newer computer, not even a really new computer, just something of a newer computer. And my total investment in this case is, well, I had to involve some coinage one way or another. So it was $380 plus one Canadian silver dollar. He wanted 400, but I showed up with, well, I had all of it. I had 400 just in case he wouldn't go for it, but I handed him 380. I told him I'd love to keep 20 for gas, and I presented him with the Canadian silver dollar, and I told him it was worth $17 at melt roughly, and asked him if he thought that would be cool. It was in a flip, and it was marked as the year and details, and he seemed happy about that. So, all right. So this is the corner. This is where we are. Thank you for Starika coming by. Evil Arch Conservative. Ghost Nancy stopped in earlier and fired up her live. And that's it so far. StreamYard link is up. So if you'd like to come up and join me and say hello, you are welcome to. Southern Canadian coins. Somebody I wish I knew better. I love my Canadian brethren in the coin community, and I thank you very much for stopping by. There's like next to nothing going on here. You ever pay StreamYards $10 a month for no good reason? Well, that's kind of what I feel like I've been doing lately. So first things first was firing up the StreamYards here to see what's what. And I'm actually just getting my phone ready to do a little. I use my phone as a camera, and I use it also as my coin camera. And just like my computer that I just bought a new computer for $400, everything is on the used, everything is on the cheap. And when it comes to cameras, I don't feel the need to buy a new camera when the camera on my phone is supposedly so good. So we have Droid Cam. So I'm actually just going to fire up Droid Cam. Oh, did Susie Q stop? Hang on, let me just check something out. Looks like Susie Q went off the air, or she's running a timer for something, and I don't know what. Susie, Susie, Susie. That's weird. Where did she go? I knew she. Oh, I know she was on earlier. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna check something. Yeah, she quit. That's over. Oh, well, I missed it. Well, she went on for an hour. Okay, well, Susie Q is off the air. Fair enough. You knew that was going to happen eventually. So Jeff Crumpler's on, Joe Durbin's on. Of course, as I mentioned, Nancy's on, and Susie Q is off. Jeff Crumpler is on. Just getting things started there at Crumpler's, and it's a lot of auctions over there. So if you've got some money to spend, and there are a lot of they do a lot of cards and whatnot. And honestly, although I know a lot of people don't think much of the gambling part of the cards. Hang on a sec, I'll be right back. It's allergy season, so there are times when I will have to leave you for a moment or fill your video screen full of snot. Let's take the latter, shall we? Okay. So she'll be back at 6. Okay, Paula, thank you. SkyQuest, thank you for coming by. Hi, Nancy. Nancy's not here yet. But she's doing her thing, isn't she? Still? Because Jeff's on. Now, you know what? Again, I have friends who are big into no gambling, but they're also trying to do family friendly channels. I get that. You don't, want a lot of gambling on a channel that you want to be family friendly. At the same time, and there's not trying to pull the wool, right? This is coining around. We want that to stay family friendly. There's a lot of younger people that are into it that come, and we know there are. So keeping it on the family friendly side. But yeah. What did you find yesterday? Did you find a large breast Mountie quarter or a 1991? Those are my two guesses. Southern Canadian coins. I'm going to choose Canadian coins. And if it's a toonie you found, then you found a glow in the dark. The former, yes. You know what though? I put on the coffee, but I didn't go and get any yet. So you guys are going to have to give me a second while I do that. And while I do that, and before I do that, let's get the coin cam, such as it is, fired up. My camera on my phone. We'll put that in the overhead grabber. Still on, but the light went off. Okay, turn it on. Oh, that's on. We can barely tell the light's on. Why is that so horribly? Okay, it feels like that was working better, and now it's not. Oh, it did lock. Exposure locked. Okay, well, we don't want to lock exposure because it starts to look like crap. Let's turn it myself physically. Fun of OBS when you can crop your own pictures and do stuff like this. OBS allows you to crop in the sides of a shot if you want. Like, I don't want to see any floor here, so I'll just grab that edge and grab it in there. And so now we've got a focus, pardon me, kind of on the table. I need my coffee. So what we got going on are these four empty I laugh because I'm showing you empty flips. These four empty flips have already made their way into the book, and we're going to take a look at the book in a moment. Great Scott! The hell? Nancy's still on, Great Scott. Make sure you say hi to Nancy over there. We won't do anything interesting at all, but we won't do anything interesting until I don't know, not till she's done necessarily. I don't know. Maria's over there. Everybody's over there. Okay, I got to get a coffee. I got to get a coffee. I got to get a coffee. So I'll be right back. Make sure you check out Nancy, Ghost Nancy T, if you don't know her. Hang on, let me get a. I'm gonna get your link. You need to know Nancy. We have a lot of fun on our game nights. Let's do something other than coins for fun, huh? So here, there's Nancy's link. Go over there right now and say hi while I get a coffee. All right, I'm back with a coffee. It's good that your videos are exploding. I don't. My problem is content making. I haven't been making any, and that's kind of the same reason why I fired this up just now because I just end up on people's live streams, and that's kind of how I spend all my time, which is fine. I mean, no problem there. But and I'm not like Johnny wants to grow his channel, blah blah blah. So worried about all that either. But you know, Party Pickle in the house. It's not a party till Party Pickle shows, and thank you, sir, for being here. Oh, it's really early for me. 12 o'clock is the time here on the West Coast, but I'm a person who stays up very late and has a shift that keeps me up later when it comes to work. So right now I'm about a solid, well, let's say a solid 2 hours into my day, and coffee has eluded me till now. Oh, thank God I got some. Hmm. So hopefully you're sipping on something that you enjoy. Mm-mm-mm. A wedding or a funeral, I don't know which. We're pretty happy about it, regardless. I could do a real dynamic channel, or I could just sit here and ASMR the hell out of all of you. So let's do that and look at some coins. Now, in this case, it's not it's not actually coins. It's the empty flips of the coins that I couldn't stop myself from putting in my book without you. That's right, without you. Um, and I apologize. I shouldn't be doing things without you, but I was desperate to do something fun because I was locked in my house, and I thought this sucks. So I put some flips in my book. Okay, so some of the things we have received was a ninth. These are all we're all about the Canada 1 cents right now. So we had the Canada 1900 1 cent that came. We had the 1882 1 cent. We got 1884, and we got a 1913. So we're going to open up the old book and take a look together. And it is an old book. It looked better before I started getting my hands on it, and then things happened. You know, these things. But it's my own book, so let it be. Now, I'm just going to grab something dark to put behind here so you can't see my list behind the thing. Hang on. Okay, so with a couple of small pennies up here just filling space for fun, we got the 1886 there on our first page. And when it comes to Canadian large cents and the first page of our book, that is literally all we've got. So, wait a second. What did I do? Oh, wait a second. Ha ha ha. Okay. Well, here's a mistake on my part, which will need to be rectified. I put the 1884 in the 1886 clearly. So I doed out there, but that's supposed to be in that spot and is literally the only legitimate coin on the first page of my Canadian penny book because they're the large cents and they're not easy to come by. Like I say, those are obviously, they don't belong there. So let's go on to page two. All right. So I did fill the 1900, and then we got one in the 1913, and we actually got one in, sorry, was this the first one too? Oh, I am blind. On this page, we got this one too, on the first page. So there is this one on the first page. It's just so dark you can't see it. So, and that's the problem with these coppers, right? They are hard to get in a way that you can still kind of enjoy them today, because they get so dark, and you don't feel as though you want to be doing any cleaning, but at the same time, if you're doing a book for yourself and you don't numismatic value may not be your biggest concern. I'm not going to put that in there. um do what you want to with your coins. I don't know how people got so concerned about that, but these are yours. Freedom, America. So, if it's something that you own and you want to clean it because you think it looks better in your book, then I'd just do what you want to do. But as I say, I look at those other. I would love to show them, but there's honestly no way to show them nicely. They are so, so dark. Waiting on your 25 pieces. That's yeah, no, there no. See, 25-cent pieces. That's a thing. Hang on, 25-cent pieces. They're there. Okay, that will take a moment. Not that long though. Just a moment, sir. Just a moment. What do you got here? 1870 to 1900. Well, right here we've got not quite that. Let me see here. I go to the Pictionary cam. Oh, that's wound right in, isn't it? Okay, hang on. Let's just modify the Pictionary cam somewhat. I had that set up for Pictionary with, well, Nancy T and everybody else who does Pictionary, and that's a few of us now. DJ's got a good idea for bingo. You need to get yourself one bingo card to play, and the way to do that is just get simple bingo card on your phone, and then it'll generate a card for you with random numbers. And if you don't like it, let it generate a different card with random numbers. But in the end, you can get numbers that you like if you generate a card a few times, I guess, and then play with us. He dumps all the bingo numbers into the coin pusher and it pushes them out, and we, play bingo. I did really well the other day and won a bunch of the 2 games. We didn't play for the blackout because it's just taking too long, and it was kind of an impromptu game, so that was cool. I did one twice, the other night, and, it's all up to the coin pusher. It could push them out a little faster, but, ah, that that happens. What are you gonna do? So, Numismatic was saying about, does affect the value, especially if they're passing them on. Yes, sir. And the thing is, though, you'd hope that who you're passing them on to is going to have a love of the coin and not just turn around, assess them for value, and bring them to the closest store that's going to say, "Oh, these have been cleaned. They're no good." They look great in your book, and if you stare at them and enjoy them deadly, then deadly. Walter Anson, thank you, sir. That's a name I'm not familiar with, but thank you so much for coming. Walter Anson, if you've got a channel that I haven't visited, tell me, and I will visit it. All the copper pennies are really hard to see in the books unless you got a strong light. Yeah, and I maybe a scope light kind of thing would do it with a lot of light streaming down, but not so much otherwise. So, anyways, the whole reason I brought up that other book is you had said about quarters, and so since I had this one handy, I just whipped it out, as they say, and that's my other. This is all the same set. What is not as interesting, I guess, is that as we get through these, which are silver for the most part, um, and this part here actually only has a couple of pages because these books were published in the early 60s. So they actually went to 1960, just to 1960. That was literally the end of this book. So this book was made in 1960 or 60 or 59 or something along those lines. And this is just the quarters. Um, like I say, date wise is here 37 to date. And as I say, at that time, date was the 1960. Hang on, I'll share a coffee with you for a moment, and I'll grab that other book. The other book is probably more interesting. I didn't realize how little there was in here, to tell you the truth. But let me just move around all my Dimebag Darren World Headquarters goodies here quickly. Because when it comes to organization, maybe that's the part I haven't got figured out. Okay. All right. So going back, of course, you know what? I do have another. There it is. A little bit of black fabric that I use. Heck with it. I have a zoom. Zoom it in. So on the first page, that's the oldest one I've got on hand, the 1872 H. And H means the minting was done in England when they were making the minting for us. if I can't focus that, and I'm going to rotate the whole book here so we can actually have the coin facing the right way. Let's see if I can probably zoom it in more, but it gets a little degraded because it's not the good microscope zoom. It's crappy camera zoom. That's all of it. Back it down just a little bit and see if focus will focus any further. No, see, it gets a little granulated. Tupac, thank you for leave your live running. Thanks, Tupac. I take you in the shower with me, so thanks for. My phone doesn't care about water, so I just set it up on the side. You own one of those? Good. I need everything else that's on this page. So if you have any extras of any of the quarters around that area, let me know because this poor page is otherwise completely unpopulated. That being said, going on to page number next one. The next page is much better looking. So as you can see, these are not uncirculated examples by any means, but some of these older ones are there, which is kind of cool. But they have got some serious wear on them, and that is for sure, right? And they don't show so good through the plastic and all of that, honestly, as well. So, but these are some of the earliest of the Canadian coins that I've got. Some of these mintages are incredibly crazy. 575 to 468,000. Come on. 100, no, that's not 100. Nearly a million, half a million, half a million, nearly a million, half a million, 384,000, 421,000. Boy, hey, you ever come across a 1936 dot spare just laying around? I could sure use one. I got spot in my book for 1936 dot. If you have one to fit in around not doing nothing, I can just send it to me, okay? Okay. Which one is scarce? 1893? It's cool having another Canadian because honestly, I've got lots of American friends and you do too, but what they know about Canadian coins is minuscule. 33, 1893, yeah. Oh, yeah. 1893, 100,000, but I got an 1894 with 220,000. All of these, none of that, even 800,000 is not a big number for coins, but 100,000 is crazy, crazy. My most intelligent friend is here, and that's all he has to say. Oh, well. Oh, I'm gonna go searching for those eventually, but I kind of have to focus. And at first, sort of, I figured the easiest and maybe least expensive thing would be to get a hold of the missing large cents, which I've gotten a few, so I feel pretty good about that. Then I've been pestering friends because I have other friends looking for the small Canadian 5 cent fish scales, the silver ones. And so as they find them, I ask them if they find any doubles because I need a whole pile of those for my book. So pretty much all of them. I have one fish scale. So if you have any fish scales, let me know. I would be happy to make a deal for those since I have every other hole missing for fish scales. No, it's time to drink coffee. If you have coffee, drink coffee now. Mm-mm. You must have your coffee while it's hot. You don't want to drink it when it's not. Some people put in ice. That's not very nice. You must drink your coffee while it's hot. Mm-mm-mm. You must drink your coffee while it's hot. So this is my sticker board. I had a bunch on the wall, and still there's a few, but most of them have a double that's on the wall, and also here to show off my already filled, obviously, sticker board. There's a few little strategic spots. This one here is a double because he's right there. There you are, Numismaniac. But I didn't want to leave that blank, so I'm using it up with a big Numismaniac. But that will go, and somebody else's stickers will fill in the bottom in here. There may be a spot like maybe right here where a little round one could go. I don't know, but I want to show off my friends and their stickers. So this is my sticker wall. I point right at it all the time. And for good, buddy. I've been showing off the sticker wall. All right. So what else can we do today? Well, had a really good week. In the last week, I have come across a glow in the dark. Got another big, beautiful poppy. Glow in the dark, I already put in the book. And we are working on some books for people. And if you would like a quarter book from Canada, what I do is I put together one of these for you. And there's one underway for someone right now, but this is the kind of thing I like to do rather than sending out quarters for people, which is a lot of fun too. But I put these together. These have a guide as to which quarter belongs in each little spot. And I like to get these books at or near complete and send them out. They're quarters, so there's not a lot of numismatic value in terms of costs in the coins. There's the book, there's the shipping, but it's a nice collection. And the painted ones are hard as hell to come by. It takes a lot of searching to come up with all the painted ones that belong in one of these books. So there's another big poppy. It is my work, but it is your benefit. If you're interested in having a nice Canadian quarter collection, that's probably the easiest and most inexpensive one to put together that I do. I don't have a lot of dime or nickel otherwise. So, and the most expensive one, which is still very, very, very cool, is expensive because we're talking about $2 quarter coins, pardon me. So, you end up with a guide and all the appropriate commemoratives and the glow in the dark and its non-glowing partner. But then this is an idea of some of the others that are here. Sorry, I'm going to read armistice. That's what I meant to say. Armistice, the victory, the discovery of insulin, different celebrations on Canadian coins, Bill Reed, D-Day. There's a few more of the insulin coins. Another glow in the dark, another glow in the dark. So this is the kind of book I would put together for you if you were interested. You would end up with a glow in the dark, which is what everybody kind of wants for their collection. But not only that, I don't want to just send out single glow in the darks. I'll be putting them in a book with a bunch of other great coins for you if you're interested in a Canada $2 coin collection like that there. That's how I put it together. Toying with all my junk here. Oops, how did that happen? Oh wow. Strange things are occurring at Dimebag Darren World Headquarters in the corner of my living room. But it is World, WHIRRLED, not World, but World. And that's why everything's a little topsy turvy sometimes because things get a little whirled around here. Mm-mm-mm. How much is the book? The book was published in 1950, and that book. Sorry, that book. That book is well $10. Well, okay. So I was getting them for like $10 Canadian at my local store, and now he's cranked them up to about 12.50. 12.50 Canadians, kind of like about $15 American, and it's probably worth about $7. But COVID times, whatever, guy tries to keep his store open. I get all that, so I give him 12.50. Yeah, email me and let me know what kind of a book you would be interested in, and I would let you know then. Of course, the $2 book gets up there. The quarter book, it's under, way under that. But Dimebag Darren is Dimebag Darren Low at gmail.com. My email's on the channel on the About page. And yeah, absolutely. I've done one for Sam Seavey. He got a $2 book. I did one earlier for Jack Galman. He got a quarter book. And somebody else has got a quarter book going on right now. And there's another quarter book that's going overseas. So there's a couple of quarter books underway that are spoken for that are going to people's. And what's happening with them now is as I do the quarter searches, they're getting filled out. So the one that's about to go overseas is almost complete. And the next one that would be available for a person is need a little help from my community to help it fill it out. It's probably about three quarters or better filled, but not complete. Jason is designing me a new sticker since I've run out, and apparently he thinks mine is boring. Whoa, wow. I don't know how to take that. That's it's like saying the stars and stripes is crap. Okay. Well, we'll take that as it comes. Jay's Mix. Hey, Jay's Mix is I believe more of a visitor from the sound community, from the StreamYard community, streaming community, and we've met on other channels. Thank you very much, I think. Or are you a coin channel? I forget. So many people. Oh my God. Anyways, Jays, thank you for coming by. I can't remember if I met you initially in streaming channel or in coin channel. Now that I recognize, I think it is. I think it was a coin channel. Anyway, what else shall we do next? Well, we'll do a quick check to see which of our friends are doing what, because it's always important to know what's happening in the community, and we don't want to miss out on things that are cool. Right now, Joe Durbin's having an auction. What do you think of auctions? What do you think of channels that do gambling or cards or races? Now, again, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of people that don't want that on their channel, and I get that, keeping it family friendly, and gambling's not family friendly. But if you have a couple dollars to spend and you're having a little fun with it, this is your mad money. You can't even go out and spend it these days because stuff isn't happening like it used to. So maybe you buy a couple of spots on a card. Maybe those spots cost $5 or $10. You got a better chance of winning on that card with the number of slots than you do pretty much any other gamble you might decide to take. Now, be smart. If the thing's worth $100 and they're selling 10 spots of $10, then they're making their $100 to cover their ass, and they're sending something out to you. There's no big profit being made, and it's pretty much all on the up and up. But if it's $100 item and the math for the number of spots doesn't make sense, there's a certain amount of that you can let pass because channels need a little bit of inflow of cash. Shipping costs money, things like that. But don't be buying spots on a gamble where you're actually all generating twice the value of the device. I'll call it the device for the person putting on the chat. They're not doing that for your case. They're doing that for their case. And, unless this is something, and do what you want to do. That's the most important thing, I think. Don't let other people tell you what you do, what you want to do with your money. You do what you want to do with your money. Who's your stacker? Thank you. I know you've subbed before, but I got a notice of new Who's Your Stacker subscriber. Thank you. Um, do what you want. Clean your coins. Do what you want. But, you know, my email is dimebagdarrenlow at gmail.com. Just like that. Dimebagdarren, LOWE at gmail.com. Absolutely, positively. I'll put it right in here. I read it. Still having that. Oh, didn't put a lid on the coffee and just paid for it. If you're willing to have a convoluted email like that, you can pretty much choose it without having to stick numbers after it. So we've been enjoying quite a bit of fun. Ghost Nancy T's channel and the second channel of Coining Around, which is called West Coast Retrospectives, run by William. we have fun. We play games. We do Pictionary. We do charades. Gotta come on the panel and have a webcam to have some fun. But if you don't want to be on the panel and you don't want to, and you haven't got a webcam, we rely on the people in the chat to be there to guess the stupid things we're drawing and trying to do. So you can definitely be that person who is as easily as important as us drawers or s- stupid actors. We need you to try to guess what it is that we're doing. And so we would love you to visit and sub to Coin and Around, sub to West Coast Retrospectives, sub to Ghost Nancy T, sub to DJ Coin Ninja, and enjoy the non coin things we're doing because they're just as fun, if not more. Half the time we do a giveaway of some kind of a coin anyway or something. But the other half, we discourage people from getting too coiny because we do that all the time anyways. So on those nights, we try to keep it pretty gamey. Smells a little gamey, don't you think? Ah, well, what else can I tell you? I was fortunate enough to go online the old Craigslist and find a fellow selling a computer with specs that I liked for a price that I liked, and was able to make a deal with the gentleman, and a very, very Japanese gentleman who, as soon as I stepped into the house, I felt as though I needed to take my shoes off. There was an air in the place that said, "Be proper, do the right thing." So he was very nice and set me up with a new computer for $400. So I've got my old computer on the on the Craigslist now myself. I don't know. What do you think of a computer that's got no front case, no back case? And I mean, it does run. It does run. It did all the, I mean, up until just the other day, it was all the one I used for all my content and that I'd ever used whenever you'd seen me. So, I mean, it's a good enough machine, but it is in like a, I don't know. How did I like that guy? I like him a lot. I watched a few of his covers, but he doesn't always cover a tune that I would want to listen to in the first place, and so, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with the music, don't get me wrong, not trying to say that, but if it's not my cup of tea, I'm not really into watching a guy play his way through it, but he plays a lot like I do. He's not a slapper, he's double and triple fingers, resting on the strings. I see myself as a player who plays at a much lower level, obviously, but in that style, so that's pretty cool. I do enjoy that bass channel, and like you say, it's got good sound too. Waves, kind of waves. Wave babies and the lion on the sand. So this one computer that's right behind me here, this thing is so old that I'm not even sure what to do with it. I'm thinking about tearing out the innards of the box and using the box again for something other than what it is because it's literally that old. And yet, well, I tried to plug it in and it didn't fire up. So it's got an issue of some kind. I don't know. Could probably just whip it out. And, yeah, he's very proficient. I think I should just tear that right out of there, actually. And then, as I say, there's the other computer of mine that was the one I'd used all along that I've now pulled out of there. Called a couple of friends of mine need a computer, so I guess I'm waiting on that. I put it in the Craigslist just at a reasonably high price to see if anybody would jump on it. I don't expect it, but if there's somebody out there that needs particularly this and is willing to pay me a little bit for it, I put it in there for $200. Now, again, this is the same computer I've been using all along. I haven't had any problems with it. For $200, anybody else can get where I got with it. So I think it's worth it. I think there are other units out there that are maybe even better for just slightly more. And honestly, if I was shopping and I seen the one I'm thinking of and mine, I'd buy the other one. But the other one can only go to one person. So might as well list it, I figured. And so I did. All right. Well, I don't know. I mean, with old electronics, Justin, the only thing to concern yourself with is that electronics as they get old, capacitors and things like that. But that Korg is made, a la Japan and should have the good components in it. So It would be cool if it did. Wasn't all that long ago I saw a DX7 at, Long and McQuaid inexpensively, and honestly, if I see another one day and it's 100% operational, I might just snatch it up because it would be really neat to have A keyboard, and B, something, like a MIDI input device, but why wouldn't the old Korg work if, unless the I don't know, unless the caps went bad, unless it was badly stored in a moist place? I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, the DX7's needed repair a long time, though, and as time goes further and further along, less people are gonna know how to even fix a DX7. So I don't know about that. Also, there's been other steps in wave synthesis in the way that sounds are generated. So, I mean, FM synthesis, I believe, is what's used in the DX7, and that is awesome and sounds great as far as I'm concerned. They could have stopped right there, and I would have been happy with that. But no worries. The little hoop in the DX needs a new memory battery soldered in. Now you got the old World Wide Web. You can maybe find a DX person who could actually fix that, but then it's not the smallest thing to send around. So there's always an investment. And the problem is that there are today items that are half the cost that do twice the thing. May not have as much of the quality, but at the same time, how far did the quality get you? You had a problem with your volume slider right away. And then, you know, I think, at this point, it's served, whether it got played every day or not every day from the day it was born till now, it's kind of served out its service life. I don't know if a person would want to spend any technician time, or technician dollars, I guess, is what more important to refurbish a DX7. But here's the beauty of it. If there's a channel out there that's into old music, if there's a channel out there into old instruments, and then that's an iconic piece of old instrumentation, and they may want to refurb it even though it hasn't got value to do so. There'd be a possibility that they would invest money that would never be paid back in terms of the value of the unit, because they can make content out of it and get thank you, Starika. Sell out a tune with no tuning hammer. Well, there's that nice tuning man that came out that one time, fine German gentleman who told us all about what did he talk about that day? It was Skype. He was Skyping people. I'm gonna give the old hair a brush here to get more respectable. But yeah, remember he told us how he was Skyping people all over the world back in the day when he came over to tune that piano that one day when we were living in at that place. Two out of tune pianos. Two? Where'd you get a second piano? Oh, I know. CP70, of course. Well, it's just like anything else, right? You want to have something with strings in it. It's going to need to be tuned every now and then. Got nothing now. You could probably bang out something on that old honky tonk piano, and three-quarters of the world wouldn't even notice how out of tune it is, honestly. Just a lot of fun to hear somebody make the effort. That being said, all right. I'm going to publish the link again just in case somebody wants to come up for a visit. Not doing too much, so spending so far 49 minutes on the air and thinking of this kind of from the point of view of CB radio or ham radio, if you like. Just turning on the channel, opening up the channel just to see what's out there, giving people a shout out, looking at some stuff, bucket mouthing, as we used to call it. Keeping an eye on what's happening. We got Joe Durbin's live on his auction right now, Durbin Auctions, and Durbin made silver bells are some of the nicest things we got in the community. Corey Holtzman is somebody who has to do with technology, fixing and building computers. He's on now. I watch him quite a bit. See here. Linus is best. We like Linus Tech Tips. He's number one. But Corey here, he's pretty good too. He'll give you a lot of insight. I don't know why he uses up half of his screen with all this crap on the left hand side, because he's trying to show off with that. But old Altair computer and whatever the hell that is, taking up half the picture. I've always hated that about his presentation, actually. But yeah, he's pretty cool and a lot of neat computer stuff learned on that channel. Actually, let's visit this here. This is something I wanted to show y'all. I'm live, by the way, using the community channel. We had a great Easter stream last night at Coining Around. We can delete that. And Doughhead was on. We can delete that. This is a great little article. You know, one of the things that we do is that I do is I try to advise when it comes to, um, just equipment wise. And I have a few. I'm pretty decided right now as to what I think is best. But this is an interesting little article because this fellow's got a $3,500 mic and he compares it against mics of every value. And you tell me how much of a difference. And I mean, from the microphone that cost less than $20 to the microphone that cost $3,500, just you decide whether you want to pay the difference for the difference in sound. Now, you put it on a scope, you get it on a graph, you blah 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 blah, and there's this and there's that. And this one's better because of the blah 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 blah. But one's $3,500, the other's like less than 35. So, hmm. And now I'm totally big on Revelator, but at the same time, I'm bringing you the articles that talk about pluses and minuses of these devices because it's important that they fit you. I mean, if a minus isn't something that matters to you, then it's not even a minus for you. But it is by far. Now, here's a guy. This guy here, his Rob Braxman. This guy, he's Black Helicopter Man. If you're into conspiracy theories, you want a phone that isn't tracked, you want to know about all that stuff, check out Ron Braxman here. Pretty interesting. Oh, this one for Justin. Justin, did you check this out? I did put this one up. Gilbert Rogers, Purple Squirrel, Great Scott. What happened? Did Nancy stop streaming? Thank you, everyone. Um, did you see this one, Justin? They picked up this truck. As soon as I saw this truck, I thought of you. Hang on. I want to get a good picture of it here. There. Now, is that not a truck that would remind me of you or what? Look at it. Short bed. I mean, that's a truck. Come on. Ain't that a truck? Justin, I want your response, man. This is all for you. What? You don't like that? Not this. What do you mean? Since when don't you like trucks like this? It's got a great big Cummins diesel in it too, apparently, I think it was, or something. So, yeah, there it is. I like them apples. Anywho, yeah, that one. I made sure that I put that on my community page because I thought it was cool and you should see it. They called it Big Red. Cletus McFarland racing with some of the best in stadium trucks. Just got in the truck and started driving. That was pretty cool. So I put that up. No, I don't want to edit. I just want to delete it now. We were uncoining around on the Sunday night stream. We'll clean that up. Pop it out of there. Delete. 500 celebration at Copper Owl. We're going to delete that. Delete. The $20 USB microphone review. We're going to leave that up. Steve Vow, we're going to leave that up. 2 pence coin so big. That was pretty cool. Yeah, everything else stays up. Otherwise, different. No. Yeah, That's it. Different other resources that I've found on the web for streamers and streaming that you'll find in my community tab. And as I find things I think are relevant, I will be adding to that. So, oh, and here's my see now there's my camera control. I put this thing up, it tells me I've got 22% of battery left in my camera. And this lets me control my focus, zoom, and all of that on the camera on my phone. So if I were to switch over to the camera on the phone, with that same control that you just saw on the screen, that's how I can do my zooming in and out. I've got autofocus on now, but I can take this to fully manual focus, which those of you who try to put coins in front of the camera know that having a manual focus would sure be nice. You can turn on the light on the phone itself for use for exposure. Very cool. Droid cam. You're gonna want to use it, I think. I'll do those things too. Yes, like, subscribe, for the fact that I'm almost never on and almost always on other people's panels doing things. And that's again cool too. Please join us when we're all together and we're having a lot of fun. Not doing so much fun stuff today. The higher you are, the better the view, baby. Steps and grab handles need steps. Yes. Oh, well, in my coffee cup. Look directly into my coffee cup. See the flashing light of the splashing coffee. You are under my power. Look closely into the coffee. Tell me about your largest stash of gold and silver and where it is and where I can find it. Stare deeply into the coffee cup. Looks like vodka. Think so. Mm-mm-mm. One of the coolest things I got recently is PC Panel. Now, what's neat about PC Panel, in my opinion, my never to be humble opinion, is that it's suitable for someone who's not going with the top of the line stuff. What I mean by that is, since I have a professional level XLR microphone, I need an XLR interface. And that gives me a lot of controls, a lot of professional level. You know, you're up in the professional level when you're connecting your microphone with XLR cables. But USB has come so far that when it comes to people who would ask me what they should get, I directed you to a USB microphone that's just as good, if not better, honestly, for what you want to do. But a lot of people want something physical they can use to change levels, like a mixing board or some other kind of knobs or sliders. And a lot of these interfaces do provide that. But if you buy a USB type microphone, you might get an on screen kind of mixing board where your slider's there, but it's, you got to grab your mouse and move your mouse over to it and then grab the slider and slide it up and down. That can suck, especially if you've only got a certain number of screens and you don't have room to keep up the picture of the mixing board. So now you've got to go and open it and then get your mouse over there. But that's what PC Panel takes care of. PC Panel provides a physical slider. I'm using a physical slider with my finger right now. You can see the software. All the lighting is mimicked. What I see on the PC panel is what you see on the software, and all of it is changeable. I can be changing all the colors that I see to anything, and they all now these are all assignable. So anything you would have normally wanted to adjust volume wise on your computer, you can make this the volume for that and keep it separate. And like, for example, the slider here, it's up all the way. Now, if I click on that, this is focus volume. This dial will control the volume of the application that is in focus at the time. No further configuration is required. So this one here is whatever I'm currently doing at the time. That'll be the volume for it. This one here, this is a volume for a specific device. My playback from my Revelator sound device, if you like. So it's set to do that volume control of that particular device. And each one of these buttons is also a switch. So pushing down the button gives me a keystroke of Z. And when I'm in StreamYard, like I am right now, pressing one of the buttons, keystroke Z, mutes my microphone. See how the microphone just muted? And the other keystroke turns off the camera. So that's under button, my K3 button and my K4 button underneath these two knobs. They are keystroke Z and keystroke X. So anytime if I want to mute my mic, I can reach up and just, if I poke that button, I mute the mic just like that. So PC panel is really neat. There's a pro one like I've got with the sliders and the knobs, and there's one with just 4 knobs, and the knobs are also buttons. So that's something a person can add to their computer. It plugs in by USB and then lets you assign what physical volumes you would have normally had to use your mouse and mouse over to, that you would like accessible physically. And you kind of figure out what you're going to do with it after you have it. PC panel. Let's see here. Yeah, there's the guys. So there's my PC panel Pro. Cost 99 American. By the time I got it to Canada, it was about 150 bucks. A little bit pricey maybe, but I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm still going to basically suggest that it's a cool thing and a person should consider it. And then you got the mini, which, as I say, is just the 4 knobs, and each knob is a button, and they're all assignable. So you could stick that into anybody's situation, and whatever it is you would normally mouse to, you can adjust volumes or amounts or whatever it happens to be with this here. And this is one of the coolest things I've gotten recently. Hey, Great Scott's in the house.
Hey, how's it going?
Really good, brother. Yourself?
Good, thanks. It's a beautiful day here.
It's one of those days that people would call seasonal affective disorder day.
Yeah. Here it's nice and sunny, not too warm. I like it. I'll take it. Take more of it. I think he may have.
I don't know what happened there. That was not my plan. Hang on. All right. Yeah, not my plan at all there. Lunch was fantabulous. He's off to get things ready for this afternoon. Thanks for sharing your wealth of knowledge. I'm not, but yeah, I am. On equipment, not coins. Everybody else, I got to rely on you guys for the coin stuff. Seaweeds in the house, purple squirrel, of course. So what are you guys doing over there today? What's your today, Great Scott?
Mine is just getting packed up. Packing. Getting it all moved into storage.
When is it move day?
Just ASAP.
Is it a long move for you? You have to travel quite a bit to get where you got to go, or is it nearby?
Well, the traveling is up to me. It's wherever I want to go. My vehicle will be my home.
Oh, right. That was the plan. Oh, you know what? I would do it exactly the same if I didn't have a family to deal with. If it was me alone. I think that's the smartest thing in the world. What kind of a vehicle are you starting with? A typical van, or you ever got a raised top, or what do you got?
Not quite a van. It's a 4Runner. It's the first generation of 4Runner. So it's 1985. The top does come off the back, but since I'll be mobile all around, I won't really have the opportunity to go
going to come into play. But are you thinking that a different vehicle would probably suit you better, or are you is this the plan to stick with? Because I mean, I've thought of this a number of times, but I also thought of what would be the minimum I want to be in. And I have had not a pop top, but a raised roof Ford 350 Econoline van. And it was pretty enjoyable. A person could get by, but I also thought right away, Class C, a Class C. Not so big, yet bigger than, wider than. It gives you that extra width. You kind of almost need it.
Yeah.
But I've built inside of a van a few times. Like did my own customization on the van, And yeah, I think if I had to live in it, I'd want a Class C at a minimum.
That would be ideal. Uh, the unfortunate part for me is I'm kind of stuck on this vehicle. I hunted for it. They're kind of the golden ticket, if you will, or the unicorn.
Mm.
There's not many of them left. So I love it and I want to stick with it. And I
What
always had dreams of kind of outfitting it to where I could travel with it, sleep in it.
have you
Um,
checked out Wonder Hussy Adventures yet?
no,
Okay.
not that one, not
I've
yet.
mentioned her a couple of times. She gets around in a Forerunner of some kind now, a more newer one, because she's not savvy for mechanicals. But
Yeah.
that's all she does is just buzz around from place to place in Nevada. She bought a place in Death Valley, her and her sister. So they have a house now, like literally a Death Valley compound. But her
Nice.
whole channel is getting into that Forerunner and bugging off to places. A lot of all the ghost towns and places like that she's covered,
Mm,
plus all the little towns that aren't ghost towns like Pahrump, but places like that where there's a history to share and some
yeah.
interesting figures from the past, especially around the gambling and the the money that came and went through those areas. A lot of fun stuff on
Yeah.
her channel. Seaweeds assorting pennies from a roll he got. Nothing from a friend closest, oldest find, 69, 69. Justin's wondering if you're going to tow anything.
I had thought about towing a pop-up trailer because, they get very low profile. They're not going to cause a lot of drag. My Forerunner is already lifted, so I'm already looking at a whole lot of drag because of that. Um, but pop-ups are so expensive. Not only are they kind of the, extra money having type of person toy, to be able to get away to the lake or whatnot. So that kind of puts it in a higher bracket of price. But also with the economy right now, a lot of people are finding themselves homeless and having to resort to something like that. So there's not a lot of availability for them. So I won't be towing anything. And I just remembered the other day, I do have a really cool tent that's nice and large and it attaches to the back of a vehicle. So I've got I'll have plenty of space, should I find the place to be able to park it and, pop that tent. But,
Years ago, I pictured a thing on the back of a pickup truck. Now, I've seen these things since. So it really
mhm,
bugs you when you come up with a plan you have never seen, and then in the years, just somebody makes something similar. And I've seen these on the
right,
tops of vehicles, in the backs of truck beds, on the top of truck beds, and it's the tent that folds out from there. And I
mhm,
always pictured it would be like two 4x8 sheets of plywood with like a square cutout so you could stand in the middle of them. Then one would just fold out this way, then the other one would fold out that way. And so your tent would go over the left, like it'd be hanging off the side of your truck bed by 4 feet on one side and 4 feet on the other. And you could stand in your truck bed and you'd be in a tent. And they would just be first things first would be the two bottom parts. As soon as you drop the trunk, sorry, the tailgate, you would grab one piece and flip it out flat, and that would leave the other one, which would have a hole cut out of, not a hole cut apart, would be flat. And you would just flip it out, and then that would give you two flats with the truck bed in the middle. Oh, important
sorry
call.
about
That's okay.
yeah, there's actually a really cool, prototype vehicle that Toyota made. It's the RV2, and, it's very similar to that in that it kinda looks like a long hatchback, but then the top folds half one way, half the other. It's really unique. There was actually an article, I believe, in Penthouse about it, but it's
The
very valuable.
1974 Toyota RV2.
Yeah, look at those pictures.
Oh, image no longer available. I hate you.
I've got them saved. So,
Well, I'll
and I
just.
actually
Oh, oh,
actually
oh.
researched and I found the Penthouse magazine that it was featured in, and I got that magazine.
That is
Isn't that pretty cool?
revolutionary for sure.
It's funny how if you look at it from the rear, it really reminds me of those like those crabs in Super Mario Brothers,
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
angry
He's got that kind of
crabs.
happy face. I can't say dick about Toyota since I work for Toyota. Actually, I can tell you about Toyota, and Toyota's friggin' awesome. That's what I can
Yeah,
tell you about Toyota.
yeah. That's why I love this vehicle and I wanted it so bad because it's kind of like, the Volkswagen of Toyotas. Like anybody could work on it. They're pretty basic. Everything's kind of easy to get to. So I knew I'd be able to work on it and save money that way.
Well, for any month that you can, if you spend however many months, you just look at what rent costs and how much money you're saving every month you're out there in the vehicle. And I mean, the first month the vehicle may need this or that, so you've saved a shite load of money, and you can, give it its service and what it needs, and tires and whatever you need. And after that, you're starting to put money in your pocket or into your silver stack or whatever happens to be. I can't
Yep.
even over $2,000 a month goes into this house, and it's a rental. So, that makes 100% perfect sense to me. And if you even could do it for half of the year and the other half you rented a place, you're that far ahead. You can't go back. It's not a losing prospect. It's only a losing prospect if there's somebody else involved in there. I don't like this. I don't want to do this. Well, you tough it out. Oh, we're gonna see something. It's gonna show us
So
something.
that alarm was for an auction I just won on eBay for my favorite coin.
Oh, what is it? I can see
It's the
the having the
1917
recorder.
Type 1.
Type
It's the
one.
booby quarter, the
Oh,
only U.S.
Julio.
coinage that had nudity.
Rightly so. Because what's better?
Nothing better. It's a life source of every human on Earth. We all had to have
So here's
fun.
the downside of using your phone as a camera. I'm getting a report of a very low battery. And that's not a problem. That little, like the Droid Cam software that I use for the camera and all that, the picture here, not that one, not this one. This is just normal thing, but pardon.
I'm
Yes.
actually thinking
Go ahead.
about getting a second camera just to use that so that I'm not, putting the wear on my Samsung. Thought about getting like a used eBay iPhone.
Oh, yeah,
iPhones have
yeah,
good
yeah.
picture quality and very good processor, so hopefully kind of keep it cooler.
There we go. Plug
Hey,
in.
Zach, what's going on, Monkey King Metals?
What's up? We're up. We're up. I need another coffee soon, though. This one's almost empty.
I
Almost
just had
empty.
to run really quick because I had a coupon for a free drink, so I had to take advantage. So yeah, I'm set for the day.
Oh, wow.
Huge.
That's extra large. It even says so.
I think it's a liter or over. It's huge. It's massive. Oh, I'll have to refill that today. Hey, Perry. Didn't see you there. Sorry.
Well, pee's no problem, but if you have to poo, that's a bit of an issue. But you can get one of those composting toilet situations. So if you're really stuck, you don't have to actually leave the vehicle necessarily, but there's no escaping the poo smell. You got to get yourself a fan.
Yeah, I was thinking about one of those kind of big old buckets, and then you could make a lid, a seat, or you could just buy a toilet seat and
Yeah, that's the
attach
best way.
it somehow.
Devise yourself something where you're sitting kind of strongly and safely on a standard toilet seat, and underneath there's a bucket. What are you going to do? How it is. This is a bucket with a real good lid.
And if you're out in public, just maybe make kind of something like a skirt, so people don't know that you're sitting on something and just nonchalantly.
Well, you're going to have your curtains for your windows when you want to go black at night and that. You just have to pull your blackouts.
Yeah, that's the other thing I want to set up is, cut to shape, some nice reflective material. I was thinking about just getting some cheap car shades, then I can cut those and glue them to some plastic or cardboard, and then mount magnets to them so that they snap in.
The same guy who fixed that truck I was showing earlier, his channel is Rich Repairs. There's a lot of interesting things. He's dropped V8s into Teslas and is currently working on dropping a diesel in a Tesla. Just because people would get pissed off if he did it, kind of thing. So he did it.
That's cool.
They did a really cool RV on it too.
Nice. Perry, take care. We'll see you around. A bucket, a trash bag, no mess. Love y'all. Hey, Donna. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Let's get fully dressed, go to work. Just remember that we are on a paid holiday today. Yeah. Very nice.
It was a while ago that he did that, but I'm just trying to find it.
Oh, I haven't played a recorder in a long time.
So they did one of those Sprinter sort of van. That's what they're in here, and they did. Yeah, there it is. They got some like Amazon delivery van. Oh my!
They're perfect. They really are perfect for that type of conversion.
Well, the story is the assistant was living in this old van, so they found where she was living, saw it was a crappy old van, and the story goes that we'll build a house on a van for this assistant of ours. So this is where they're evaluating her current van, which was pretty sad.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. This is what they ended up building for. This table in the back goes up and down and also stretches out for the bed. Got some solar on the top. These slats of wood were everything's properly insulated.
Very nice. That looks peaceful.
Isn't it? And you can see yourself camping out in this. No trouble. There's a fridge there. Well, that's different. Scented candle. Live, laugh, love.
Awesome.
Let's see here if we can't get a better picture of it somewhere. Yeah, but so they gutted this thing and did this work themselves. Even to the point where there's a little there's a video of where they felled the trees and stripped them into. Yeah, that's a really good look of it. It's got an induction cooktop there, so that never gets hot to the touch, right? You can put your hands on it while you know what an induction cooktop is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know when to describe it.
Those are cool.
Especially good for in a van if you think an induction cooktop's the best thing.
Yep.
No actual heat from the cooktop. That makes perfect sense.
And if you're going to have solar,
I would have Velcroed all that crap right to where exactly it is, because of course, first corner it should all come down. But but they did a really nice job of this, like that really nice sink. Like, look at that. That's your home bar, luxury sink kind of deal going on there. But they put this thing together supposedly for this chick, which I think in the end was not true. It's just one of those things they were, you making YouTube, right? But
yeah,
they did build this thing. It was supposedly for her to live in, but I don't think she's some sort of Instagram model chick as well. He uses her to, have something pretty on the show and give people something to look at, but because he's smart like that. But she has no real actual factoring in the channel roughly. She's just like the sidekick that people will tune in to see if she's on.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the first things.
Sorry,
go ahead.
You first.
I was just going to say one of the first things I need to build is a lower structure in the bed portion for my storage, and then I'll be sleeping on top of that. It'll
Yeah.
have slide out, pull out drawers.
This one's even got one of those little showers at the back where a person would stand and blah blah blah. You know what it
Yeah,
is though with these things? Look at the strip lighting they put in it. LED
very
strip lighting.
nice. Yeah,
The thing is, you just got to see all these things to find ideas that make sense for you and steal a crap out of them, right? That's what
yeah,
it's all about.
absolutely.
They're telling her now, look, we've got a shower for you, and you can shower, and to keep you safe in the shower, well, we have cameras so that we will always be able to keep you safe, Linda, and watch you all the time, even in the shower. We're keeping you safe, Linda. This is what he's explaining right now, explaining how we're just, it's just your safety we're concerned with. She's like, well, why is there a camera in the shower? You can see her just acting exactly that right now. Why is that up there? But they do a really good job of this. Obviously, it's all for play, but I mean, gonna play with somebody, she'll work out. That'll be fine. You can do that. But yeah, they do a great job of that, man. And they take you through the whole steps. So you can go back a few videos. That's the fridge there.
Nice.
It's got a little toilet. Shows her the little toilet.
Oh, yeah,
Does he
perfect.
does he show you? She says, "I'm supposed to use this,"
It's even padded.
and she says, "Ah, it's not so bad. I could probably do this." Surprised he didn't show her the poo cutter. Yeah, and this one's really well done with, like I say, a bunch of solar on it. Oh, this is actually funny. Eh? As they're doing all this, they realize they're being watched, and there's a car outside shining its lights on them. So,
Wild.
what do you think is about to happen?
Hello, officer.
Excuse me. What are you kids up to?
Even she's amazed. Look at this place. It's a mini condo.
Yeah, these are the guys who put it together. Electrified garage. That's the they got. It's got a nice light bar across the top. And they really did a nice job of it. But yeah, man, I totally get the idea of. I mean, I've followed a lot of these different van conversions. There's another fellow. He's a motorcyclist, and he's got his bug out van, and that van's got a spot for his motorcycle to pull right in, right beside his bed. So he's got his van, his motorcycle. He's a YouTube blogger guy, Cycle Cruiser, I believe his name is. Cycle Cruiser, and the bug out van.
Nice.
Cycle Cruiser. I'm sure he's got a whole playlist on the van, I would think. That's one of the first things I ran into him with was this bug out van, and it's surprising I don't see it. Let's just see. Let's bug out. Pretty sure he called it the bug out van. Bug out budget camper, tiny home stealth van. So this is just one of the small vans, I think. No, it's got to be a bigger van. Yeah, it's a bigger van. It's like a Savannah. It's got the lights ahead, above, on the sides and up. You know what I mean? So there. So there's your stealth van. No windows, no nothing. He's got it all insulated, but nothing more. Obviously, cameras. He's totally camered up when it comes to being inside there. And literally, he pulls his motorcycle in there as well, one way or another. I think the bed folds up and then the motorcycle comes in. Not sure. But it's pretty cool. He does a really cool job of this. I like the mean where they show an electric car plugged into a charging station that's plugged into a big honking diesel generator making carbon. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, we live in British Columbia where most of our electricity is hydroelectric, right?
Mhm.
If you drive up and plug into a great big dam, that would be a little more appropriate.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's the big bugaboo, right? Electric only just making power with the coal-fired power. So what's the fucking difference? Well, a lot of places in the world don't use coal-fired power, so so you can see they're using a. He's got like a propane stove there. He's nowhere near as fancy as the other, but you can again get some basic ideas of what a guy did, right? LED lighting is obviously the way to go. 12-volt LED lighting.
Oh
And
yeah.
this van of his is completely stealth. It's just your standard white, abducting children van. But
Yeah,
that one,
looking to solar, definitely want to get at least, one good sized panel.
oh, your money on solar is going to be about the battery, right? If you're going to want to store a bit of power, then you're going to want good batteries that aren't going to degrade as you charge them over time. And their battery technology is A, changing, and B, unfortunately, not overly cheap. There is a company called Battleborn Batteries that you should investigate. The kind of battery they make is also made by others, and you may be able to get it more inexpensively. But Battleborn is US made and properly warranted and all that. So you pay a little for all that good stuff. But they also use the sort of batteries technology that doesn't care if you use it up to 100% and doesn't care if you charge it to 100%. It doesn't degrade the battery. So
Hmm.
with a lot of batteries, you would want to stop before 100% discharge because it ruins the battery otherwise. And so now
Yeah.
you lose that capacity if you don't use it. It's not there for you, and that's not the case with the type of battery Battleborn makes. But as I say, they're expensive. But if you started with them on day one with a small one and just made that investment, it would be worthwhile. I think it
Over
is a
time.
battery technology that isn't otherwise well known, but it's pretty damn cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it with solar, right? Solar is getting to a point where there's small increases in uh, efficiency of solar panels, but till they come up with something really new, they're going to stay around the same efficiency. So now it's a question of the batteries, and that's kind of where the big cost and the differences will lie in a person's system. Can you store a lot? Can you use what you store? It's about usable energy for you, really.
Right.
But yeah,
I
battle.
remember recently seeing some technology advancement that used aluminum, and it didn't necessarily need to be a super high grade of aluminum, so it left it very wide open as far as cheap costs in aluminum. And
Oh,
the chemical that they used was so harmless that you could eat it.
mm.
It wasn't, caustic to our body. So yeah, very cheap, you know, materials and yet very viable source. So I don't know how it's evolving. Typically, the better they are, the slower they evolve, which is opposite of what you would think. But
Looks like Keeper's one of Keeper's favorite guys got a little burnt. He really liked Shinedown, and apparently at a recent show, but he got a little on fire.
oh no, oh look at those pyrotechnics.
Yeah, don't stand in the wrong spot. Clearly,
No,
I don't know if that's what happened or not, but
probably.
that looks scary.
It's hard to even tell where the flames are coming out.
You better believe that there's some markings on the stage that have got to be pretty clear.
You'd think.
I mean, whoa, whoa!
That was,
He got burnt just there.
yep. He's wiping off the
He's still
smelly.
rocking it though. He did not stop for
Yeah,
nothing.
didn't miss a
Good
beat.
man.
True professional.
Buzzing around to help him now. They shut the lights so they can give him a hand.
Mhm.
Yeah, whoa, right there, a
Right
flash.
in it.
Johnny,
Yeah.
I'm standing in the wrong spot. That sucks. Silas Marcus, YouTube, thank you
Right
for
in the
the
face.
footage, brother. Check out Silas Marcus' channel. We want to give him credit as I'm stealing his footage. Sorry, Silas.
That'll curl your nose hairs.
He's going to want a Kevlar jumpsuit next time around.
Mhm.
Can I have that same thing, but made of like Kevlar, please? Multi-layer. I'll stand in the flames. You imagine that, standing in the flames, you're shooting up your crotch coming either side of your body. You're standing there going, yeah. Yeah. I just farted. Yeah. Well, hopefully he ain't too badly hurt. It says burned by pyro, but that doesn't mean badly burned. Burning is a very painful but unfortunate thing. Well, all right, as we continue to steal other people's YouTube stuff. What else is going on in our world today? Quick check on who's live. Joe Durbin is still our only live person that I know personally besides myself. If you all know of somebody on your list that's live, let us know. Let us know, and we will let everybody know who is out there doing their thing right now. Jeff Crumpler was live earlier, but is not now.
Yep, he was giving away the keyword for his later stream. If you can get the people on panel to say next, then I guess they will be committed to doing a giveaway every time someone says next on their panel.
Well, that's an interesting slope on things, I suppose.
Yeah.
If they say, if you catch somebody saying the word next, then they have to do a giveaway.
Yep. Kind of like a drinking game, I guess.
I like a good drinking game, gotta say. Actually, that can be one of the funnest ways to drink, honestly.
You quickly forget what you're not supposed to do.
I'm just looking through the different videos that have come and gone in the last few hours. There's one fellow I watch. His name is Big Clive, bigclive.com. And he does a lot of teardowns of standard things you and I might buy. And one of the things he's covered is the Dubai light bulb. The Sultan of Dubai told Philips that he wanted a light bulb for his people that did this, did that, and did the other. And they built it for him, but they only sold it in Dubai. And it's an excellent, super good light bulb that we can't get otherwise. And he's kind of followed that. And I guess Philips has come out with a new bulb that's much more like it for the general masses. And he's covering that. But he tears down all kinds of crap you would buy at Poundland and dollar stores and things like that, just to see what you're actually getting and whether half the time they're like electrically dangerous.
This sounds interesting. Definitely have to check them
out. Ghost Nancy T knows where that started. Hey, I shared a lot of people to the duck race, and I shared a lot of people to the hashtag when that became available. A lot of channels can thank them, and they won't, but they know very well that it was me who told them about that in the first place, and now that's used regularly. Just because I was hooked up to StreamYards and I knew when it became available, and I had the link when it wasn't even available to the public, but could be used by the public if you had the link, and I was giving it out because I was told I could. So I think we all just got to get the resources that are out there and all use them. That's the best thing. I am looking through my list of people. Don't see too much that's super cool. America's Silver Patriot did a video of his pours over the last year and a half. And if you know America, he stops at a place and then like literally stops his truck and does a pour. So that can be pretty cool. I'm going to rewind that here. It's only a couple minutes. We'll take a quick look at it together. Well, there's the truck. America. Those some beautiful things he's made. Lots of turtles. Oh, some jacks, silver jacks. Into the turtles, yes, sir. Oh, there's a turtle. That ain't silver. There's a jack set in silver. That would be cool. Little turtle marking on a 2.7-ounce pour. That's pretty cool. He definitely does some very nice pours stopping at truck stops. Hey, that's neat. Silver Cooters, Grumpy Cooter. Hey, that's nice too. Got the Indian heads. And a few pews and other things if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Do visit our friend America Silver Patriot. Sub to his channel if you're not. Some lovely things that he has poured himself. And as I say, he's a truck driver. He covers the roads, and then when he gets to a truck stop and it's appropriate, he heats up some metal and pours us some art. Those are some of the people in his life. Some of the other coin people.
Reward. Yep.
Nice. Not all of us are going to get together, but a bunch of us are going to at the Grove show. If you're going to be at the Grove show, make sure you touch base with Ida. She's got something special in mind. Just get it done. If you're going, make sure. I'm not going. It's too far for me. But y'all know if you're going. There he is himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the toilet seat, the stogie smoking, silver pouring, grumpy cooter himself, America's Silver Patriot. You don't have to like him, but you do have to love him.
Cooter, cooter, cooter.
Cooter, cooter, cooter. Hey, you want to play some D&D? Look at those dice. Those are some cool D&D dice right there.
Nice.
I kind of want those. They're pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's all right. I was thinking we could play D&D online. I've never played it really seriously, but I know it can be done. If we could get into it as a bunch of noobs who have never played it before, then we wouldn't be pointing at each other going, you don't know what to do. I think I can enjoy that. So that's a puzzle, actually, right? Yeah, there it is. There's all the pieces, I think. Yeah, there it is. So silver puzzle. That is awesome. Back to the cooter, cooter, cooter. That's got to be artificially toned, clearly. Pouring some silver right in that cooter's bum. Look at that. That's why it's got those eyes bugging out. It's hot. All right, so that's what one of our friends is doing. One of our good friends.
Yeah, when I saw that, I remember I did see Sir Ward, but I also saw Hoover. Hoover was in there. I was like, oh, Hoover. They were all gathered around watching him do his pours. And I love how he does that, just guerrilla style on the side of the road, a whipping dish, and it's all
Got
you
me
need.
a torch, got some silver to melt. Let's do it.
Yep.
Nice.
Whenever the urge gets you.
We have no other visitors yet. I would play D&D, but well, that's it. That's the beauty of it. I've never played it. I just know it's something that we could do online. So I'm thinking, I don't know, something more involved that we generally do have a couple of hours together each time we do get together. And, I've enjoyed even the bingo, and I didn't think I would think so much of bingo because it's bingo, right? You think of it's mundane, but just sitting there, and then next thing you know, you're waiting on one number, so is somebody else, a couple other people. That was kind of enjoyable. No, it was more enjoyable last time around since I won both games, so that was enjoyable. And at first, I was the bitch because I was like, I don't have any numbers yet. I don't have any of my O's. I don't have anything. How about you choose a number that's even on my card? And then, the whole thing flipped for me. And a week before that, I watched William. He needed one number, and that chip drifted all the way to the edge and then started moving backwards. And I had no idea that could even happen. Then they said, yeah,
Right?
that's surfing, and it migrated its way backwards. And I'm like, wow. Okay, I thought this was way more like I didn't know that could even happen. So that was really cool, gotta say. And DJ is smart in having coming up with that, and I'm glad I've attended a couple of times to get a real feel for what it's all about. It's better than you think. If you're not if you're in the bingo, don't just come on. Get a simple bingo card on your Android phone. It's called Simple Bingo Card, and then you've got one. I show mine on the screen. You don't got to show yours, but in the end, you do because you got to call it out. But Yeah, simple bingo cards all you need. You don't have to draw anything stupid on a piece of paper. Just use simple bingo card. If you don't like your card, hit random and they'll give you a new one. Hit it until you like the card and then don't change it. Don't be cheap.
Yeah, it's not your
Hey,
typical church
Numismaniacs on?
bingo. Oh, cool.
All right. So I've been on for a solid hour and 40. I'm going to bomb over there and catch the Numismaniac as I always do. Folks, let's all do that. If you're here with me and you wouldn't mind, I would love you to please go and visit Numismaniac. I'm going to copy the link and put it in the chat here. That's right. Chat right there. Paste. Let's all bomb over there. I only wanted to use up some of my StreamYard time I'm paying for no good reason. And I'm going to jump on his panel too. And he's got his StreamYard link up. So we'll use up some, well, not my StreamYard time, but his. But all right. Anyways, I've said it. That's it. Thank you for coming, Great Scott, for this amount of nothing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
let's pop over to Newsmaniac's channel and learn some history through coinage. That's the good stuff.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, everybody, we'll catch you later. It won't be long before one of our other friends goes live, and we'll be there too, likely. Bye for now.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time I have to say, so hold on.